Hi boys and girls, welcome to Art with Mrs. Sasso. This week we're going to focus on an artist named Charley Harper. Charley Harper was an American artist from Ohio. In his works, see if you can find nature, shapes, color, sharp lines, and repetition. That means repeating something over and over. Maybe a circle repeated over and over, or maybe a line. When Charley Harper was a kid, he lived in West Virginia. He grew up on a farm. Now, on a farm, there's a lot of chores to be done, and Charley Harper wasn't really a big fan of doing chores, so he would try to get out of those. He would run off into the woods, and one of his favorite things to do would be to find the water bugs. And those water bugs, they stay on the surface of water, and they create shadows. So this piece is called Shadow Dancers, and he loved watching those shadows. If you look at the dark circles, those are the shadows. If you look at the white circles, those are the vibrations on the top of the water. All of the black lines are the bugs. Do you see a floating leaf? It's yellow. It has its own shadow, and it has its own vibration rings. I see shape. I see color. I see line. Here's one of his artworks called Tree of Life. One thing that's really nice about this artwork, there's a lot of variety. That means probably everyone who's looking at this picture could find something that they like. Maybe it's a shape, maybe it's a color, maybe it's an animal. Do you see a cardinal or a redbird? Do you see a stingray? Do you see a fish? I see a snake. Anyone see a hippo? See what you can find. How many of you like the beach? I know I do. I think that's why these are two of my favorite pieces that Charley Harper has done. Let's take a look at Crab-a-tat. Can you see why it's called Crab-a-tat? I see a hermit crab. Can you find him? I see color, I see line, and I see shape. Take a look at the way he created the water. Do you see the blue color? See the white? Can you imagine the waves crashing up onto your feet? Now let's take a look at Strollin' Patrol. Do you see the 5 shorebirds in a row? Have you ever seen shorebirds in person? The way they run back and forth on the beach? It's always fun watching them try to collect all of the little yummy snacks underneath the sand. I see color, I see shape, and I see line. Can you see the white lines? That's where all the water is. Can you see the black lines for their long, skinny legs? Can you see the black line for their beak? How many of you love this artwork as well? This one is kind of funny. It's called Fishful Thinking. Can you see why it's called Fishful Thinking? Who's peeking out behind that fishbowl? Little triangle ears sticking up. If you said cat, you're right. The cat is wishful thinking, or maybe he's fishful thinking. I see color, I see line, and I see shape. How many of you have pets? I have a dog named Tucker. I've had animals my whole life. Maybe some of you don't have pets, but maybe you wish you did have a pet. Charley Harper named this piece Friends of Our Families. Charley Harper had a lot of pets. And like I had mentioned before, he lived on a farm. So he'd been around animals for his whole life. Take a look at this piece. Do you see an animal that maybe you've had as a pet? Maybe you've had a cat, or maybe you've had a dog. If you look at the top left, there's a cat laying on a tree limb. That's called a calico cat. When I was about 10 years old, I had a calico cat, so I can relate to this piece. Do you see color? Do you see shape? Do you see line? I do. Here are some animals that I can say with almost 100% certainty that you or I have never had as pets. I see a squid and a whale. Take a look at how the squid's wrapping its long tentacles around the whale. Look at the color. Look at the bright red against the dark black of the whale. Look at the line. See how the lines wrap around the whale's body? Pretty cool. Let's take a look at zoo babies. I see a koala, and I see a baby koala. I see lines all over the koala's bodies. Do you see the ears? Looks like a shape to me. Maybe a half oval. Take a look at the giraffes. There's a big one and a little one, a mama and a baby. Do you see shapes? I see circles, and I see half circles. What else do you see? Do you see color? Do you see a line? I know you see shape. Charley Harper was well known for his ladybugs. Take a look at the lines. Take a look at the shapes. Take a look at the colors. I went for a walk the other day, and my son and I found a ladybug. It was a bright red ladybug, and it had probably 8 spots. Take a look at Charley Harper's ladybugs. Are they all red? Nope. Do they all have the same number of spots? Nope. If you look at Ladybug Sampler, the legs are just straight lines. If you look at the other one, Early to Rise, all of the legs have little dots on them too. Take a look at the repetition. Those shapes are happening over and over and over again. They're repeating themselves. What do you think? I see shape, I see line, and I see color. Here are more of Charley Harper's ladybugs. If you take a look at Slumber Party, all of the ladybugs are starting to go to sleep underneath of a leaf. If you look at Ladybug Fly Away Home, you can see those white lines look like the ladybug is taking off and going off to who knows where, maybe a new flower, or maybe somewhere to take a nap. Take a look at Ladybug Rainbow. I know you see color here. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I have never seen a blue and purple ladybug. And you know what's really cool about that? In art, you can make things whatever color you want. Take a look at the shape in between Ladybug Rainbow. It creates a triangle. Can you see that shape? I see color, I see line, and I see shape. Charley Harper is not only well known for his ladybugs, but he was very well known for his redbird. Perhaps that's because the state he lived in, Ohio, well, the cardinal is their state bird. So let's take a look at this redbird. I see shapes, I see lines, and I definitely see color. Look at his tail. It's a triangle. Look at his eyes, little circles. And look at his whole body from his pointy head down to his belly. Looks like a teardrop shape or a raindrop. I see repetition in this piece as well. Look at all of the little bird prints all over the snow. They're repeating themselves. It creates a sense of movement. It feels like the birds have been moving all over the place trying to get a winter snack. Do you see color? Do you see shape? Do you see a line? I think you're getting it now. Here's another really fun one of a cardinal. One of my favorite things about this piece are the wings. Do you see those lines? Looks like he is about to take off or he's flapping and splashing. Another great thing about this piece is the name. Charley Harper had some really fun names for his pieces. This work is called Bird Bath. Like, brr, I'm cold. Do you see the snow? If you see white, you just saw color. Do you see color? Do you see shape? Do you see line? I bet you do. Here's another bird one that's very similar to the first one we saw, the bird feeders one. But this just has one cardinal. But you can see all of his little footprints all over. He has been very busy trying to get some winter snacks. I thought this was a very important piece to show you because it connects this Ohio artist to New Jersey. This says Migration Mainline, Cape May NJ, Cape May Bird Observatory. If you take a look, all of these birds travel through our great state. If you look, there's a green leaf and there's an orange leaf. That talks about the spring migration and the fall migration. And if you look at the bottom of the lighthouse underneath, you can see the shorebirds. And you can see some horseshoe crabs, and I see a little orange crab, and also I see shape, I see color, I see line. I'm looking forward to doing some art inspired by Charley's artwork with you. If you want to learn more, you can talk to a parent or guardian about checking out these resources. There's a website, charleyharper.com, and there's also a really great interview, At Home with Charley Harper. One of the nice things about it is you get to hear Charley talk about his own work, and you get to see into his house and his really cool art studio. I hope you've enjoyed learning about Charley Harper as much as I've enjoyed teaching you about him.